In terms of the US experience, and especially the point I want to touch, because we touched on the culture, we touched on level 1 services and etc. But when creating the IP and managing the IP, because I know there are a lot of ways in which you can structure this IP and tech transfer. And in the West, as far as my knowledge goes, you have a lot of structures which, and sometimes there are NGOs, foundations, and et cetera, and they manage the IP on behalf of the university.
Correct.
So can you share a bit on this experience? And for example, if the university lab creates an IP, who is the entity that actually monetizes and tries to get this IP to market?
Yeah, again, great point. So fundamentally, if you look at United States as an example, pre-1980, all of the intellectual property was actually owned by the government. So less than 5% of the overall intellectual property was ever commercialized before 1980. In 1980, Senator Birch Bayh and Bayh-Dole got together in creating one of the most important legislation in the United States that I would say is still there and still thriving. Basically, universities could own that intellectual property. A lot of the universities created these not-for-profit foundations. I'll take one example. One of the oldest ones is WARF, Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation, that supports University of Wisconsin, one of the most successful tech transfer operations in the US and in the world. So they manage all of the intellectual property on behalf of Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin. So they license, manage, prosecute the patents, and then they do everything from soups to nuts as the invention disclosure comes in. And that works really well because it is run like a business whose role is technology transfer, including startups, by the way. And slowly you see the shift in US universities, not only doing startups, they're actually investing in their own startups now, which I'll give you a few examples as well. But the point being that universities are very good at doing the academic research. Then the tech transfer office comes in, either within the university, which some universities do have it within the university, some others which have it outside of the university in a not-for-profit foundation. But again, the mission is the same. It is taking the technologies to market. How do you support the faculty in disclosing an invention? How do you protect the intellectual property? Which countries do you want to get into? They're funded by this organization. And then lately, I think we'll talk about that as well, is how startups have become now the backbone of technology transfer, and not so just taking a technology and throwing it to the other side, hoping it gets licensed and hoping it gets to market.